Welcome to the Real Talk Show, brought to you by the Youth Platform. I am your host, Malungo Mwanga. And on today's episode, we are having our first ever episode of the University Edition, where we are going around universities as TYP, having different discussions from different youths so that they can give us the information that they have. And today we are right here at Levy Mwanawasa Medical University, and our main topic of discussion is STIs. I know this is a discussion that a lot of people are going to have hands-on because it's something that has affected a lot of youths. Anyway, let me not speak on their behalf. I am also a youth, but we have a panel here and other people who are going to help us in going around with that conversations. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm very happy to have students from Levy Mwanawasa because this is a medical school, and definitely you people have to give me first-hand on information about STIs. Is that right?
Exactly.
Okay, so we have a panel of 4 people, and they are going to give us the first data that they have on STIs. I don't know if I have to introduce you guys or you people are comfortable with introducing yourselves. Which one is which?
Introduce ourselves.
Oh, okay. So I'll give them a chance to introduce themselves, starting from there and into here.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Izukanji Gondwe. I'm a 4th year medical student right here at Levy Mwanawasa.
Okay.
Hello everyone, my name is Tokozile Piri and I am a medical student here at Levy Mwanawasa doing my 2nd year.
We have a lot of medical students here, yeah? Okay.
Hi everyone, this is Chitembe Kenneth Keshas, doing environmental health, in other words, preventive medicine. Yeah, I'm in my 4th year.
Nice.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Njavwa Mundi, and I'm a 4th year environmental health student.
Okay, that's amazing. And I am also a student here, just for your own information. I like letting people know about that. So today we are talking about sexually transmitted infections. I would love you guys to tell me what you know about it. I think we'll start with our doctors, because you guys have hands-on information about it. What information do you have on STIs? Generally, in universities or here, wherever, what do you know about it?
Okay, so STIs, as the abbreviation entails, are simply sexually transmitted diseases. And from the definition itself, these are diseases that are transmitted mainly sexually. But however, it's not just sexual transmission. We also have mucosal membrane transmission. We also have it could be blood transfusion, which is rare. Sometimes it could be due to infection with an infected needle or sharp objects. But technically, we have a variety of STIs. To mention a few, we have HIV, we also have gonorrhea, we also have syphilis, the likes of chlamydia, and the like. So basically, these are diseases that are rampant, especially amongst youths in our generation today.
I like how you decided to give us these types of STIs, because I think a lot of youths in our generation know only one main one, and people would always think you can only contract those diseases if you have sexual intercourse. But I like the fact that you actually highlighted that for us. Yeah.
Right.
So I think, let me not be a medical person. Let's go to environmental health. Our preventive doctors. How do you think STIs are in universities? Do you think it's a challenge? Do you think it has been a problem in universities of late?
I feel it is a challenge, mostly because of the misconceptions of STIs, especially among youth in universities. Because like she said, a lot of people just have self-centered information on the fact that STIs are mainly sexual. Yeah. It's actually quite interesting that a few weeks ago I had to interact with a first-year student who had no idea that you can contract an STI from oral sex. So such misconceptions are also affecting universities.
Yeah, another preventive doctor. It looks like you want to add up something to this conversation.
Yeah, in addition, like people have got different information about STIs, and people take it long read, say, maybe this is not an STI, this is something unusual that is happening to my body, more especially on the private part. But it's where somebody has the information, say, no, when you start trying to see different, feeling different on your private part, mostly it's something that somebody can actually know, say, this is an STI, and that person should be equipped with information to say, no, what should I do next and when? So it's really important so that these students should have information about STIs.
Yeah, and looking at it, I feel I'm a youth, so I really love to stand for youth. And looking at how it is right now in our universities, I don't know about other universities, but right here where we're at, I've been in this campus, but I haven't seen anything that would point me to somewhere where I can test. I haven't seen anything that can point me to somewhere where I can get something to do with sexually transmitted infections. What do you think the university is doing about that? Is there anything that's there right now on the ground that you think can help us students?
Currently, we don't have really something that can really actually direct you to say, no, okay, we'll have this. But I remember we sometime, maybe last month, we actually introduced some sensitization that you need to take place.
Oh, nice.
And we came up with a project and also a suggestion to say, no, as a big university like this one's, not only Levy Mwanawasa Medical University, also these other campuses. Yeah, so should have maybe a youth-friendly corner where medical students, even other people that can come on board could be going or can be going to access all these services, more especially. And we opted to have some people that should be qualified people, because in the aspect of STIs, it brings a lot of stigmatization.
Exactly, it has to be a confidential thing.
So you understand better when you say, no, people, that one has got an STI. It feels like, it makes people feel,
some type of way.
Actually, I'm not the person, I've been doing this, or be labeled, say, no, you understand, right? So it's really something that we should now implement. But we started with drug abuse.
Oh, nice.
But we going forward, say, no, these people can maybe help us in terms of having this a separate infrastructure where students can just be accessing all these services, most especially on a free basis. Openly, so that people can be treated and also can prevent all these infections that can be transmitted to other people.
Okay, so our doctor, let's talk about health facilities. I believe that most universities have clinics, right? Am I wrong? I think most universities actually do have clinics. How best do you think these services are provided to students in those clinics? Do you think they are really effective as we stand right now?
If I'm honestly speaking, I do not think that they're as active as they should be.
Yeah, why do you say that?
Okay, I would take, for instance, I think I had a colleague ask me once to say, I don't know where I would go because I have an infection, vaginal infection. But when I go to the clinic, all they're telling me is fungal. So we're not getting educated enough through these healthcare facilities. And I think this is something that during the workshop last week for the UHC, I remember we were asked to find problems that are there in the youth. And my team and I actually tackled this.
Oh,
so
nice.
I'm so glad
so
to
you
have this
the
conversation.
Don't you?
I'm so glad to have this conversation because I remember the problem that we found was healthcare facilities. The health workers, you go there and they will just mock you or something and say, oh, students, this is what you like doing. Hey, Mona, this is because of what you're doing. You're careless, you do this, you want to come to university because you're not allowed to go outside at home, and now you come here and you want to do everything. But that's not how it's supposed to be. So I feel that even the university itself, the clinics are theirs. It's not, the clinic, they put those people there.
Yeah.
So they need to be able to assist the students in order to talk to the health workers there to tell them that this is how we're supposed to treat the students when they come with certain things like this.
Yeah. So while we are at that, I think we can also try to tackle some of the challenges that we face as students when it comes to accessing these health facilities. I like the fact that you mentioned that when you go to the clinic, you find this health personnel who's going to tell you, hey, your students like doing things, that's why you're here. When they haven't even yet tested you. So what other challenges do you think we face? Because let me just be honest, personally, I've never even gone to the clinic that's provided at my school to go for HIV services. I end up getting HIV services from elsewhere because I feel like there's no friendly environment for me to just easily walk into that place and say, okay, I've come here for this because of the stories I've heard. So do you have anything to add on that? Or maybe one of you has tried. Come on, let's talk about it.
Okay, before I give one of my colleagues here, I would like to say that I feel sorry, I had this. I feel the ignorance from students as well.
Yeah.
You know, and the stigma. I think I remember when we were having conversations with my colleagues outside, you know, the stigma as well from these health workers. But when I say student ignorance, I mean there are instances where I've heard, like in a situation, somebody wants to abort, yeah? And instead of going to the hospital itself, they decide to ask a student to help them, assist them, because they're an intern at this hospital.
Especially this medical school.
Yeah,
we feel
exactly.
like we have the data.
Exactly. And you know, how do you trust somebody else? How do you trust a student just like you to assist you with certain things like that? You get an abortion pill through somebody else. Those things also cause a lot of infections, because just like we said, these are not things that just happen through sex. Yeah, they happen through different ways. So how do you just trust somebody just like that? So ignorance is one thing that I find is a challenge.
Yeah. You know, maybe we've had experience from the audience. Has anybody ever walked into that facility, that clinic, that hospital to try and get these services from there? And how has been your experience? Do you have anybody who has tried that? Oh, you have? Oh, okay.
Actually, I have, but not sexually related. I remember in first year I had a fungal infection.
Yeah.
And when I went to the hospital, the first thing that I was told, or the first comment that was made is that this is why you've come here. As a student, you've already started sleeping around. So that environment that the lack of friendliness that I experienced in that environment made me realize to say, even if I had a stronger infection, I wouldn't go back to this place. Sure. Like you said, I'd rather go to a different health facility where I don't know. So that also raises a lot of questions on confidentiality. Because if she's able to respond to me in such a way, obviously, even when there are student doctors, student nurses who come around, such information can be easily displayed to others. Yeah. So that's a very big challenge that this hospital and the student clinic face or lack. Yeah. They do not have that friendly environment.
Oh, our doctor, you want to say something?
Okay, so what I would say in my experience is there are limited youth-friendly spaces. Yeah. So like the other panelists have mentioned, I've heard stigma coming out. I've heard fear of
being judged.
Yeah, being judged. Yeah. So there is lack of privacy. And amongst them is limited youth-friendly spaces. So in my experience, I actually participated in offering the services. So they're actually there. Oh, okay. And funny fact is, I never got to know about Levy Hospital having a youth-friendly space until I was doing attachments, in December. And it's so shocking because that's like one of the most youth-friendly spaces, like the term itself, because we actually had an instance where this foreigner came to test for HIV. He's a surgeon. So, you know, when you actually get, maybe in health setup, right? Medical students normally come there. You're doing a medical procedure, maybe a needle accidentally gets into your skin, and, you know, there's that contamination. You can actually be on PrEP. So very few people actually knew about that, and even I didn't know about it, but we actually do have these youth-friendly spaces. They're just limited. Of course, I did try while I was still there to actually create some TikTok content to maybe at least sensitize people about it, but I feel ignorance and a limited facility of these spaces has been one of the major hindrances, and I feel we can do better going forward.
Yeah, so I think right now it's safe for us to blame ourselves as students, because even as much as, I think it's only one friendly corner?
There is one, it's just by the hospital, yes. There is one, but how can I put it? It's like divided. So we have, they call it the art center. Yeah. So the other side, we have a space for adults, anybody above, I think that must be 25 going up. Yeah. And anybody below 25, there is a youth-friendly space just for youths.
Wow. So now this is our problem. I think we need to reach an extent where even as students we are able to push for ourselves, because at the end of the day, this is our health. We won't always expect the hospital. Actually, we should never expect the hospital to come to us. We have to go to the hospital. So if there are people in this space right now who have this information that we have, it's up to us to go there and spread it to other people. We need to be seeing that friendly corner having a lot of people. And I'll come to you for statistics. How many people did we have today? I expect you to give me that information. Why? Because of how much we are going to be able to spread it out there. So in my school or in my line of interaction, I know we have STIs and UTIs, yeah? And most of the times those things are interchanged. Is that right? So can you just give us some context on how different they are? Anybody? I need someone from the audience. Why am I just getting panelists who are talking? Audience, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Let's give something to our audience. We'll have her. You have something for us about UTIs and STIs? Yeah, so you can just...
The first segment, there's something that the panelists did mention that has really gotten to me. Yeah. And this is on, is it the many methods or the different types of STIs? Mm-hmm. Initially, I think many people in universities and even I thought the only way you can get STIs is by the usual sexually transmitted infection, which is by entangling in sexual activities. And that's why maybe because of this misconception, we have been judged sometimes, even when seeking medical attention, because everybody has a notion to say you can only get it because you are from doing the deeds. You know what I mean? Without understanding that even when you are innocent, you can get this up. So now, my main question, or something that I would want us to probably get out to the world, is how then do we put a difference or distinguish to say, guys, we ought not to be stigmatized when we seek for medical attention. Yeah. I don't need to be looked at in a certain way because I have this condition. I got it in my innocent space. How then do we seek medical attention without us being stigmatized? Yeah. And also, maybe when it comes to universities, one thing I have come to realize is sometimes I'm a former student, okay? And I have witnessed and seen how even when somebody is infected, how they just want to treat themselves. Yeah. It's okay, but do you think it's safe enough to do self-treatment on yourself without having reviews and knowing for sure that you have been treated to the max? Yeah. Or maybe, I bet to be corrected by medical students. I'm not a medical student, but perhaps I have witnessed and sensed. When you have an STI, sexually transmitted infection, you can subside it. You can get treatment and it will vanish. But is it true that it has been treated completely, or there's a possibility of it having to resurface again? Is it true?
Medical students.
Medical students. With what type? Yes. Exactly. Now, that even makes it more interesting, meaning there are different types, and when you get tested, or maybe when you feel, oh, I'm a medical student, I have seen this on my private part, I can treat it. Then you get those, is it 12 or 11 tablets that you take at once, and it has vanished. You get, without even knowing what type you are treating. Yeah. So is it advisable that you people who are in medicine, it's okay that you can treat yourselves without having to visit a hospital? I hope my questions have been noted, because I'm asking and I can't remember.
I hope I am noting those questions. Is it okay
that maybe this can, because when you suppress an ailment, it will disappear and you'll be okay. You'll be like, I have gotten over it. But what happens if it resurfaces in future and then gives you even more complications? Yeah. So what friendly space can the students ask for them to avoid the issue of being self-treated and seek proper medical attention, with the ultimate thought of, I want to be treated without judged? Because I think the only thing that will make me, let's say, treat myself is because I'm scared to say, guys, nikaenda kusik bay, nizapeza malungo. Yeah. Malungo manje kanipasa mkwala, azani wana branch. Azani kamba, you know what I mean? So the friendly space that she was talking about, maybe it's also something that we can propose to, because I feel this is something that is going to help us students. We are having so many complications even after school, sometimes even in our marriages, because now our stomachs and our issues down there are not okay with problems or decisions that we made when we're in a space of being vulnerable and wanting to treat ourselves. So is it that we would want these sick bays to be attended by people we literally don't know? Or maybe it would be more comfortable if they brought us professionals from elsewhere. I don't know how you look at it, guys, because self-treatment I don't think is the best, especially that we have different types. You suppress, but not totally treat it. Yeah, so I can talk on and on and on. Please get the mic from me.
All right, so just to talk about that as well, I think at this point, it's really important for us to be able to understand that diseases are things that are normal, even as much as they are coming because of our ignorance, but when you get sick, it's something normal and you have to go there and seek medical help. I think what kills us the most as youths or as students is that when we are going to seek help, we are not thinking about it as something that's going to help me. We want to look at our environment first, but in the actual sense, we have to know that I am sick. Instead of me dying, I would rather let me go to the hospital so that I can save myself. So if we put that mentality in ourselves, we should be able to put that mentality in ourselves of saying, even if I have an STI, I can go to the hospital and I can be okay. It's way better for me to go to the hospital and become fine, and like me sitting here, getting my friend who I feel is qualified, who's just in third year. Yes, I do know some third years are good, but you're not yet there. There's a reason why you don't have that license. So you have to be there for you to be able to do certain things to me. So I think let's start advising ourselves and each other as students that even if I am sick, it is okay. I need to go and get help. Now I'm getting my audiences. This is what I like. I like it when I see them talk. Yeah?
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm sure for that to come out, like for people to have the positive attitude towards something, they must also receive a positive response at the hospital.
Yeah.
So if they are not treated the way they are supposed to be treated, they will be feeling shy. STIs are diseases. They are here to stay, and we are continuing to live, and they will continue being there.
To affect
So,
us.
and when someone has a disease, they are not actually written on their body to say they have this kind of a disease on them. Like take for example HIV and AIDS. Someone can have HIV before it turns into AIDS without even you knowing to say this person has HIV, and they can live a normal health life. Now what I've realized is what traumatizes us mostly is the environment. You are first of all defeated in the mind psychologically to say since it's a disease that has come up with a lot of issues, because in our mind mostly when someone has HIV and AIDS, you think because they are this person nihule, so they have been sleeping around, they have had a lot of partners, but it can come even in other situations. And as a result of that, a lot of people are defeated psychologically. Now, to defeat that, perhaps there's a need to sensitize, to let people know, to say you can still live and be a happy person, even with the disease and with the challenge, and accept it. And when they do, they'll be able to manage. It will be very easy for someone to manage their lives very well, to manage how they relate with others, because it's not written. It's not written anywhere to say, I have this disease, I have this challenge. So what needs to change is the approach towards the challenge.
Okay.
You must be able to challenge the challenge before it challenges you.
I like that. I think I'll be using that phrase often. You must be able to challenge the challenge before it challenges you. I'll be a musician in this life. But yeah, you had something to say? Yeah, please. I like the information. Yeah?
Okay, I don't know if I'm answering the questions, because she was saying a lot and I'm listening, I'm getting the questions, but at the same time they're like, so the first thing, of course, that was in my head was, like I said, it's not safe to treat yourself. That's why I was saying, when you're trying to get an abortion, or even when you just get sick, you find you have a vaginal infection, and the first thing you want to do is, let me ask somebody who's already there at the field. It's not safe. You need to go there to find out on your own, because those pills, you don't even know. We like to use Google. True. We like to use Google after someone has given you, and all you're going to do is just research.
You even type for the symptoms. I'm feeling this and this and this, and then brings you.
But before you gave her the mic, you asked the question, the UTIs and the STIs.
Oh yeah.
So UTIs are urinary tract infections, yes? And I feel that because we are university students and we come to environments that are not home, and you get this infection, and because you think, because maybe the bathrooms, the what, and you find yourself, you have an infection, your vagina is itching, your penis is this and all that, and then you think maybe it's just a UTI. And because you're using those bathrooms, but you're not asking. You go on Google, you just say, and then it gives you this symptom, and then you're like, oh yeah, because I'm probably using this bathroom. But go to a health facility, ask, and do the lab test, because you might find you have more than that. You're forgetting that you've been doing things in the bedroom, and then you're coming and saying,
your mind is only on the bathroom.
Yeah, your mind is only on the bathroom, because nobody wants to think that they're sick. Especially not through things that they're enjoying out there, So and then I believe there was something else but
it's so sad how she told me to keep note of those questions.
Okay, no, sorry. She talked about the youth-friendly corners. I liked his initiative. He said they started something, and I feel like you should really bring that back to life.
We are actually pushing that back to life.
And she also talked about theirs as well at the hospital, which I feel is a very important thing. As I was doing my research back then for the STIs and whatever, I found out that other universities in other countries have hotlines.
Wow.
Yeah.
For that?
Yeah, just for...
TYP, can we get a hotline?
They have hotlines for support systems, for these things. They offer family planning services.
Wow.
They do all these things. And, I was like, Zambia. And I found out Zambia has as well.
Okay.
But they're inactive, of course. But we have Ed's Health Foundation, but I don't know as well how active those spaces are as well. But we need universities to be more open to this, to be more, we need even ourselves.
These programs.
Because we're the ones that go through these things. It's not the lecturers, it's not the administration, it's us. So we stand up together, we can.
Yeah.
We can, students, we can make it happen.
Yeah. I think I'm seeing a suit somewhere in the audience. It's so easy for someone to grasp a suit. It's so easy, so don't blame me for that. So you are a student. Sorry, we didn't even get what program you're doing. I know we have so many programs. Can you please hand him the mic? Yeah, you can just introduce yourself and tell us what program we are doing. So that I ask you a question based on that.
No, thank you so much. My name is Jones. I'm doing biomedical sciences.
Oh,
I'm a third-year
nice.
student.
So you are the ones who collect our samples.
Yes.
So, okay, I don't know how far you have gone yet in your studies. I don't know if you have started getting the hospital experience yet, but I would like you to just highlight what you think could be the answer to what I'm going to ask you. So let's talk about universities, yeah? Let's try to leave the hospital out of it, because I think as Levy Mwanawasa students, we like encompassing ourselves in the hospital so much. But we are one, but we're two different entities. So as a school, like as Levy Mwanawasa, our administration or our school, what do you think their role can be in helping us push these agendas of trying to fight STIs or any other diseases?
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Looking at it at the university level, students are the ones that are mostly affected. True. If you look at the statistics right now in Zambia, you find out that the infected mostly are the young ones, those that are universities, the youths. So what can management do then to help this, to fight against this, rapid increase in the infections of STIs, UTIs, and all these other diseases that are there? First and foremost, each university should at least have a counseling department. Yeah, true. Where students
do we even have that here?
Can,
Wow, I'm ashamed. But
yes, if it's there, then it should be more active.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of students that are facing these challenges. You find that somebody is maybe infected. We talked about UTIs here. And UTIs are some things that you can get maybe from poor hygiene, not maybe trying to, there's what we call antimicrobial resistance. By prescribing yourself medication, it will bring certain infections. So how then are people supposed to talk about such things? Yeah. We need a space like where people can be counseled. You are facing certain things that you can't talk about with everybody, but there is somebody who you trust
Yeah.
Most people talked about here that they don't trust the student clinic. Because why? When you go there, the first thing they'll tell you is that you've been sleeping around.
Yes, as a student.
You are using your body for other things.
Yeah.
But that cannot be the case. So students will only get to fight these things if there's a safe space for them. And I like this, that it begins with us here.
True.
We know about these things. Let's not lie to our friends. If somebody tells you, I'm feeling something is itching down there, don't rush, say, go and buy this from the pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
No. Tell them, have you gone to the hospital? Has the doctor checked it out?
Yeah.
The first thing, it begins with us. Even if somebody has a headache, you prescribe for them. Have you tried for ache? The headache might be a sign of something that is more dangerous than just the headache itself. So as students, we need to take that precaution, but management has to engage students.
Sure.
Students need to be engaged. We need somebody who will be on the part of students to negotiate with management in creating a platform that we can talk about these things. Have seminars so that students are sensitized.
Yeah.
The way it has begun, if it was in the main auditorium, the main auditorium was full. We're talking about these things. Many students would have gotten about this, and education would have progressed.
Yeah.
So
I
yes.
like the last thing, because this is a challenge I'm giving to the youth platform right now. We need a segment where a lot of students are seated in that auditorium.
Exactly.
And we are having this conversation.
Yeah.
And we are able to bring out solutions as students so that we can move forward. Now, before I hammer the ministry, because this topic is going to go to the ministry, this topic has to do with the ministry, the youth platform, and these other big organizations that are there. I would like to talk, actually I would like to ask, are there people who have ever had some initiatives or who have ever tried to reach out to these ministries in terms of these, and what response have you been able to get? Has anyone ever tried? Oh my goodness, you just came and disappointed me. I was so ready to hammer them. I think I like to hammer them. But nevertheless, now that we are learning and now we're getting this information, I know there is certain needs that we would want, because at the end of the day, we might work as youth, but we need our peers as well. We need those people above us as well. So what support would you need as students in terms of trying to combat STIs? What support would you need from the Ministry of Health? What support would you need from TYP for them to help us in this agenda that we are trying right now? Oh, okay. You people like help. Okay, so we can start from the back and we move down to the front. You people like help. You like support. All right, go on.
As for me, I can talk about health education. So the TYP guys, I can urge you guys to help us or help the institution. Yeah. If at all there are outbreaks of STIs, we can. I think you can bring about healthy talks, healthy educations. Yeah. So, more like the ones we're having now, like on a weekly basis. You know all those things. Yeah, we talk about the dangers of STIs. Yeah, all those. Yeah, thank you.
TYP, check one.
TYP.
Next check.
My name is Brian Muteto. And for me, I think the management, or the university rather, can help us by providing condoms. Yeah, distribution of condoms. Because us students, or youths rather, were sexually active animals.
I like that
word. My brother here came.
Okay, so just to cut you short on that one, since we are dealing with condoms right now, condoms might be provided, but what if they are not used? Do you think students actually use it? Oh, wow, I like that. You can pass it on. Do you think that we as students are actually using those condoms?
No, we don't use
Okay, then
condoms.
let's talk about
But-
that. Before we judge and ask
Yeah.
the ministry and TYP to provide us, are we using them?
No, we are not using them.
Okay.
Because we are lacking education in our minds. So education is the most important thing. You need to educate the youths on how, or maybe you need to tell them the importance of using condoms and the dangers of having unprotected sex. Yeah.
Okay.
The narrative of saying life is sweet.
Yeah.
Men. Okay, let me know. Okay.
Okay, I think I can concur with what my brother said there. Yeah, I happened to be at a facility and I was an adolescent focal point person.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, so I think the key thing is provide information to these people, more especially arts youths.
Yeah.
Yeah, this information will go a long way.
True.
And at that facility, like even the one that you can probably have here at the university, it can go a long way. It can help a lot of people once you provide information to the students.
Yeah.
First of all, I distributed the condoms just on to check if people are using it.
Yeah.
And then before I realized, people started coming back to the facility. No, we are done with the condoms. You distribute
I don't want to
144
overthink
box to one person. Within a week, it is done. 144. Some, they didn't know how to use them, and I brought them to the table saying, okay, this is the model that you're supposed to use. As you imagine, this is the penis, and then, actually show me how you did how people do it, all your friends. And then it came out, it's like, some of them, they didn't know how to open.
The information wasn't tallying, it wasn't making sense.
Yes, so I was just watching until he finishes whatever he was trying to demonstrate and the like. I was like, now this way I need to come in. Yeah. So I came in and STIs. I started by maybe using the preventive measures that's supposed to be here, like ABC. ABC. It's A stands for abstinence. Yeah, arts used to nowadays, just like where my friend said that no, the use of all animals of these days.
Animals.
Yeah, this time around they can't talk about abstinence. People are now going beyond.
Yeah.
We'll go to B. B, you talk about, if you fail to abstain, then be faithful.
Yeah.
That's a B. B, if somebody fails, somebody shares with you, no, that guy is a beast, you get no, he did.
And then you want to follow.
So he wants now to also try, I think my mind doesn't do this. Or give me this type of a style, give me okay. From there, somebody has failed to be faithful to one person, right? That can actually help in terms of prevention of these infections. Yeah. You say, no, okay, if you just fail to be faithful to one person, then condomize, that's a C. You get. So it's all about providing information to the youths so that they understand, more especially on the use of condoms. Yes, condoms can be distributed, and the way now the problem comes in how they are stored, how they are used. Yeah. Because somebody, it was so embarrassing, somebody said, look, and more especially us youths, so I need to try this time.
Yeah.
In so doing, wakangi wakusagulira kumanja, as in the proper way of opening the condom and using. Nikume, pa! In so doing, you tear a condom.
Yeah.
And you come and blame yourself. No, I even use the condom. That's why. So it's all about providing information which is very straightforward and correct to people, so that they can also actually understand. And together we can actually achieve that one.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Doctors, anything?
This was a very
interesting session.
But yes, I think it's all right. You can hand out condoms to people. You can hand out condoms to universities. I, for one, will give my experience of finding condoms at the administration. Like they were just in a box, and I'm wondering
what actually provide.
Yeah, but then they're just there. It's not like they're being given. There's no poster saying these are condoms in here. No, nothing. And then I'm just seeing people collecting stuff, and I'm like, what are you guys getting? And they're like, no condoms and stuff. And then listen to this. People weren't getting those condoms. At the time, the people I was asking why they were collecting more than 4, more than 5. I'm asking you guys, how many condoms do you need? And they're like, no, these are being used for cleaning pieces.
Why am I guilty? I'm so sorry, but I am guilty.
And when I heard that, I got, because I was
like, your PC.
I used them for that thing, and for the wrong purpose. Because I was like, the school is giving for cleaning pieces because there's no one to tell me how to use it. My friends, my peers are telling me, use it for your PC. So you see, it's like that. So I think it's very important to be informed on all these things, because I think I saw once, like, there was a poster in these clinics that we go to where they said, if your man has said no to using condoms, ask him, how sure is he that you are safe? So you need to use those condoms. Do you know my status now? Do you? Yeah.
Okay. Our other doctor had something to say? Okay, let's just... You want to say?
And then there's this thing whereby you have condoms in your hands.
Yeah.
You're trying to give a lady, she'll be like, going to have sex. You get that? Huh?
Yeah.
It's lack of education as well.
Okay.
Wafuni kabacho sabu kaja mind kaja. They remove.
Kansoni.
Yeah, kansoni kaja mind.
Okay.
You get ka?
I saw a hand. Oh, okay. Mind cancel. Let's remove it, ladies. I think let's start interacting. When a man gives me, let me get. When I give a man, let him get. Yeah, you can go on. Oh, okay.
So my name is Levy Mwanawasa, and my contribution is, I feel the other thing that should be done is, I feel most youths are usually like on social media. I feel one thing you should do is make maybe short clips about these things, educate the youth. Example, TikTok is the one that's mostly used these days.
It's famous
because I feel as much as we say no, we make this kind of arrangement and call a lot of people to come attend. Yes, there'll be people that are going to come, but not everyone is going to come.
Yeah.
You get?
And
so
not
I feel
everyone will check out the information.
Yes, so I feel making such videos and posting them, I feel that way you'll be able to spread the information more.
No, okay. Great. TikTok. I know a lot of people here on TikTok. Let's start using it for the right purposes. Yeah?
Yes, my name's Derek Chulufiachisha. Just to add on what my fellow colleagues said, so we all know we're active, sexually active. So if you know you have a partner, or maybe you don't have a partner, but you're doing the thing, it's best you go for regular checkups. That's very important. And if you have your partner, you take your partner for regular checkups so you guys can know your statuses and how you are entangling each other, so that you can abstain. If you're not seeing anyone, it's best you abstain. It's very best you abstain. But if you are and you don't like using condoms, to both of you, you best go for checkups on a regular basis so you know your status.
I need to see certain couples here going for checkups. Don't worry, I'm confidential.
My name's Temwa J. Silwimba. I think on the checkups and the using of condoms, you have to change that mindset of liking the raw thing, this, that. So it's with our mindsets that we get too excited, then we forget to wear condoms and stuff.
Yeah.
And we can be contracting and spreading more STIs in the process.
Yeah, true. That's very true. I have one. Okay, you go. Then I ask one important question.
Yes.
Go on.
So and then the other thing that came to realize is what happens most of the time. Why certain things happen the way they happen. Someone get to have sex without using
Protection.
use of condom or protection. It's because people don't plan to have that.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you've heard people saying, no, it was just by mistake. For sure, you can't have sex and then you say because it was just like a mistake or something. You first of all started the stages, but before you start reaching those stages, you touching each other or that, you must first use your brain and think, where are we going apart from here? Because you find yourself doing something, it reaches a level where you can't manage to contain it. Feelings, you can't manage to contain the feelings. You can't manage to control, and so it becomes like too late for you to even take hold of the condom itself. So first of all, that's why even if you check around, check the statistics, you find that it's even high for Christians and these students, those who are well, to actually get unplanned pregnancies. Go out and check for those who are doing it as a business. and I mean sex as a business, you find that they rarely get pregnant.
True.
But every day they are doing it, but they rarely get pregnant. They planned for it. They are into the business. Now, if you are not into it, please take me correctly. If you are not into it, a long time ago, yes, they said abstain. But reality has it that people don't still abstain.
Yeah.
So know what you want and know where you want to go in your life. Have a plan for your life. If it's very, very difficult for you to abstain and to have restrictions, be faithful. Have one partner.
ABC.
If you can't manage to be single, yes, ABC as he said earlier on. But the reality, even in churches, and there's a lot.
You are so hung up on churches.
I mean,
what's going
I'm
on?
talking about that because it's out there. There's a lot of wrong information that people receive.
True.
You understand, right? We're not telling people the reality. You are busy telling people abstain, do this, but do they do that?
No.
Also teach them about the effects of what they are doing. Perhaps when they have it in mind and the consequences that will come later on, that's when they will change. You'll be there teaching this. But if the person doesn't have it in mind and how they can change, it's very difficult for them to abstain. And also the other thing that I wanted to bring about before is also an issue of counseling.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of young people who have been traumatized. Just in universities, you find, I think some time back, I think we saw something that was going viral of confession and all that.
LMMU confession
Yes,
group.
we saw
I
that.
know that.
Here is an innocent student who has never had sexual intercourse with anyone. But because they want marks, they go and have sex with their leader or someone who can give them marks or free will, a pass to another level.
Yeah.
They do that, and then they are dumped, they are left, and then they discover that person they had the sex with actually is sexually has STIs, has HIV positive. The person becomes traumatized. As a result, instead of that person going into a counseling session, they'll go out to make sure that they make every youth out there become it's like the devil. You know how the devil is?
Yeah.
He wants everyone to die with him. You understand that? He knows he has already reached his probation. The probation is closed and there is no hope.
Yeah.
And he wants everyone out there to make sure that you sin with him and you die with him.
Yeah.
So they would want to make sure that they spread. And before it reaches that level, everyone else will have. And you won't even know. And the most beautiful ones are the most dangerous ones.
Come on, preach. You know, before that, what you just mentioned, it actually hurts me to know that I've been in a space where somebody actually said that, you know. We were here having a conversation and then someone says, if I was to ever get sick, I would make sure I spread it. And then I'm there, I'm like, are you serious? Like, why would somebody even have such a mindset? Why would you even think like that in the first place? When you can actually just find ways to live with it. Because you can live with it. You can live with HIV and AIDS. You can look healthy as long as you just adhere to what needs to be done or what needs to be said.
So what is needed, what is important at the moment is counseling.
Yeah, I like that.
Counseling.
Yeah.
So that they change their mind.
Oh, there's someone at my back. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's just get it to the back and then we get it to the front. That's fine. Okay.
You can even forget what to say if you're not a medical student. Okay. So my addition, from what everybody else are saying, what I tend to pick, or one thing I would say is, apart from one condom, one round.
That, please, can you bring that slogan?
One condom,
so there's
one
a slogan. One condom, one round. Everybody needs to have
Apart
slogan
from
in
the
their
one
heads.
condom, one round, I think one of the most things that we should consider as students and even as young ones, let's learn to be honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
You know you are sexually active. I know I am sexually active. Don't be shy to go for what you feel is going to prevent your health. And also, apart from you being honest with yourself, being honest with yourself is actually going to save you a whole lot of good.
Yeah.
You are going to do it, but you can't go and grab a condom. You want to do it, but you can't go and get counseling. You want to do it, but you can't go and seek for help from someone. It simply means you are literally going to look at yourself, get into a perishing state.
Yeah.
Because if you are not honest with yourself, nobody's going to. Sometimes we have found ourselves in relationships where even just you to point out and say, babe, get a condom, it's a hard thing. Because then when they ask you to say, I should get a condom, you don't trust me.
Yeah.
You'll be down
Or
to your
they'll
knees.
think you are actually
You know what I
unfaithful.
mean? When your partner asks you, so you don't trust me. And now you need to understand that a person who has gotten you into that space, remember what he said about planning. Even in a relationship, you might not have planned, but your partner has planned. And you either be a victim or the victory out of a situation. But what matters is take your self-interest at heart. Because then if you yourself can't put yourself at the place of safety, nobody will. But the biggest question is, how can I be an advocate of a free STI environment to myself and my environment, and even universities? If one person can stand and speak a message of transformation to change, I think 10 people would be saved from that message.
True.
Now, what is it that we can do as students, or what is it that we personally can do in my environment? If I can go for counseling because I'm scared, if I can go to the sick bay because I'm going to be a victim of criticism, what then can I do to make sure that we reduce the numbers of STIs in our universities? Because remember, you might be free today, but you find yourself with a partner from UNZA who was a victim of it, and what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
So what environment can we create? I think that would be my biggest question for today. What is it that we can do as students to curb, or rather prevent, the much numbers of STIs in our spaces? Especially when it comes, because it's like the most common one, apart from the many mentioned, is sexually. Apart from the many that the medical students have said, I don't know the word, I might bite my tongue. But what is it that we can do? Like, this is my honest question. Like, I would want to know. I feel even somebody who's listening to this episode, they would be very interested to understand what is it that, because trust me, TYP, like he suggested, TYP is going to be there, okay? And probably for TYP to take this step, it means that this is something that they have at heart. But what is it that I can do for me to participate effectively and even see to it that the movement of what I'm advocating for is accomplished, even with TYP? It begins with who? With us as individuals. So what is it that we can do?
Okay, so that's going to be that's going to be our final question. Thank you so much for raising that question to us, Faith. So that's going to be our final question, so that even as much as we've had these discussions, I hope we are pumping some solutions, because we just can't have a discussion without solutions. But before I forget my main question, guys, please give me the chance. There's a topic that's been on my head so much: pregnancy and HIV and AIDS. What do you think people are most scared of? Can we talk about that? Why? The first answer came from this side. Please, can you give us a reason as to why you think people are more scared of pregnancy than HIV and AIDS? Yes, go on.
Faith, are you scared of HIV? Oh, sorry, by the way, my name is Faith Malambo.
Yeah.
Are you scared of HIV or pregnancy? To be honest, I'll tell you pregnancy. Because in my straight head, a child is a huge responsibility. Mm-hmm. And apart from being a huge responsibility, I am looking at my space and environment. Am I ready to face the world when this seed grows?
Yeah.
Number 2. Number 3, I'm thinking of, will I be accepted or not? And that is a visible thing. Pregnancy is visible. Sorry. pregnancy is visible and the responsibilities cannot be hidden. And when you are thinking straight, you realize to say, if you're not in a place of taking responsibility of that child, you are literally destroying your future and the child's future. Yeah. Compromise. HIV. Can you tell that I'm positive or negative?
No, we can't, unless you reach the actual final stage.
Period. Now you have PAPE, you have a lot of things, I think there's much sensitization and advocacy for HIV, and people have known it. People can live with HIV and you would not know that they're actually positive. Yeah. Even when they are dying, you would never even know. By the time you hear an AIDS in Empire, you'll be like, oh, so are you serious? You know what I mean? So it's like they have, it was scary before now. Now you can live and nobody can know. Even when you have a child, you can have a child who's negative, yet you are positive. It can be prevented. But a child, I would rather have HIV.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we'll have another one. We can just have some quick responses. So, yeah.
For me as well, pregnancy is a very big issue. Firstly,
for the men as well.
So firstly, because I'm going through in this girl's career. Let's say she's in university. She gets pregnant and she's in her 4th year. What happens to her? She has to go into maternal care and everything, which means she has to put hold to school and everything. Yeah. So, and it would disturb me as well because I'll be traumatized.
Okay. Anybody else? The doctors in front? You can just tell us the reason why you think HIV. Oh, pregnancy and HIV. Which one is the scary one? Yeah?
Okay, so I'll try by all means to marry the point I also wanted to say in addition to what he said. Yeah. So firstly, pregnancy is scary, of course, as my colleague Elia stated. And I feel this is also because we are not economically stable. I'll try to dive into that. And if you look at the reasons, in fact, before we actually talk about why we need to prevent STIs, we need to understand what is the reason that's making us have the STIs so that we can know how to prevent it. Mm-hmm. In my view, I think it's the major issue amongst youths, it's economic instability, right? Yeah. So we know that you can be living with a roommate. Your roommate always comes with chocolate, yogurt, what? They have a sugar daddy. Or they have somebody that's supplying them, and because you actually like nice things, who doesn't love nice things? You want those sweet things, so you're going to force yourself to now maybe
do what they
do just in order for you to have money, or in order for you to, satisfy that need, and you find yourself actually having STIs. You start going to those men. Guys, ladies, how many have witnessed by them all? You're entering those men.
Anybody can literally stop
They're literally
you. I can attest to that.
They're literally just stopping you, and they'll offer you very good money, great deals.
One time I actually had one who offered to pay for my groceries, and then I'm looking, I'm like, I'm in the mall, and then he says, oh, let me pay for your bill.
Exactly.
I'm tempted, but then in my mind, I'm like, what do you want?
What do you want?
Yes, you pay. And I had a big trolley because I was shopping. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, yes, you pay for my groceries now, but what next? Well, even as much as I wanted it, I was just like, what? It's okay.
So you discover that there is a need for financial stability, and so people are trying by all means to, also the men are trying by all means to actually satisfy that need in exchange for that, sexual act. Yeah. But then in the process, you find yourself having STIs, the pregnancy that everybody else is scared of. Yeah. So I feel like one of the most important things that if government is going to listen to this,
they would definitely listen.
Yeah, if they're going to listen to this, I feel like they should really enhance. I'm grateful for the projects they've already put in so far in helping youths, develop their skills or something like that. But if we can actually make it so practical, let these platforms where youths are empowered start at an early stage. Imagine I only got to know about some of these platforms in like 4th year. Yeah. Where were they when I was in 2nd year? Where were they in 1st year? I never even knew such existed. And if we can also get to have talk shows, I believe we have, is it an association and society department at Levy? if we can have talk shows where it's not just STIs sensitization, but if we could also have maybe female talk shows.
Sure.
Talk shows that empower ladies, that teach ladies of their worth. Because again, sometimes it also comes down to how you see yourself. I feel this point was mentioned. Yeah, we need to have more programs that help ladies maintain their integrity regardless.
Men too.
Yeah,
men
men
also
too.
Sugar mummies.
Exactly.
Let's link both.
So we really need these platforms, because if we can have ladies and gents that are being sensitized, even at a very early stage in school, you find people, by the time they're reaching like 3rd year, 4th year, people are business minded. They have, they have built themselves not only in school, the career they came for, but also in character, in their business mind, so that people don't have to depend on sugar daddies or sugar mummies. And we can actually help prevent STIs indirectly through that.
Okay, so just before we wrap up with the show, because trust me, this topic will keep going and going and going. It will never end, because I see there's so much data in this head. But there was a question that was posed on what can we do? I think that's the main essence of us having this talk. So I think I would get even 3 or 4 contributions of what you think we can do as students in these universities to fight STIs.
Oh, yeah, I actually wanted to mention something in line with that, especially with the administration, Levy administration. One thing, of course, it all goes back to creating an environment that is friendly. So that we as students are able to go to that space and freely conversate with these health professionals. And one thing that I also wanted to mention is the student clinic. We want to make sure that the people that are found there are health professionals. So there are a lot of instances where somebody goes to say, oh, I have some white spots on my vagina, or maybe it's itching, pain during when I'm peeing. So the first thing that they'll say is you have fungal, so you go buy some drugs, or they will prescribe you some certain drug without specifying to say you have fungal. So one thing that the student clinic should do is have the capability to carry out tests like urinalysis. Be sure to say somebody has an STI, because one thing that we don't realize is STIs, UTIs, these drugs have some certain common composition. They have similarity. So you get treated for an STI, you get drugs for UTI, for fungal, right? It will be suppressed, but consequences later, you can end up being infertile because you had the wrong medication or because you didn't treat an STI. So that's an important thing that they should put in. Get health professionals, carry out tests to be sure that somebody has an STI. And I also wanted to mention something about condoms. Guys, in as much as we're using condoms, let's remember that condoms are not 100% safe. So you can still have an STI. Yes.
99%.
You can still have an STI when you use that condom. And one thing that you should take home and tell your roommates, the people you stay with, it's not only through sexual contacts that you get STI. You can have it through oral sex. So education and awareness is so much important.
Anybody? Okay. this conversation is getting heated up. Come on, guys. We're at the end of the show.
Just a short one.
Okay.
I think just to be quick is I think it also begins with us. Where we're coming from. Let's be content, more especially ladies. You're vulnerable, you people.
We are so vulnerable.
And Mashukas, I'm talking to you. Yes, Mashukas are about to poke because chola tapad. So I think the message
are you speaking out of jealousy?
No, I'm not speaking out of jealousy.
Okay.
I'm just trying to.
I thought you were jealous that wakupokani again.
Both, yes, So I think the important thing is, I think where we're coming from, also one of the background where you're coming from. I think parents, real parents, when you're going to such universities, I think they say 1 or 2 words. If you're just coming from a home, so please, take that information. Don't change when you come here. Just peer pressure. You're seeing your friend coming with hungry and they like. Please stick to what you have and look back where you're coming from. I think parents have done enough, but when you come here. No, I want that Brazilian here. Where did it come from? It's an exchange of material. So you guys, just be content with what you have, and also remember what your parents send you to do here. Thank you.
Okay, so we can have quick, brief answers. Let's not forget the main question of the thing. What can we do as students?
Okay, I think the other thing we can do as students is to have control over our sexual appetite. I know we usually put it, say it's not easy for us to abstain.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
We
can
put that in our
do
minds.
it, guys. Gents, it's not always that when a lady visits you, you have to touch her. It's not a must that when a girl visits you per level, that you have to touch her. No. No, as I know, move.
Yeah, sometimes you just conversate.
Just,
you have
you know,
conversations.
talk
You
to the
grow.
lady.
You know. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's all for me.
Okay. So.
All right, thank you for this opportunity. My name is Davis Jongwe, and I would love to just add on what my brother said. So concerning the part of just controlling yourself, I would also love to, emphasize on the part of knowing, maybe let me say your purpose to why you are doing what you're doing. Because mostly we engage ourselves. I know this part is most based on those who get STIs in the means of sexual activities. So you get to know what your purpose is in what you're doing. If maybe you engage yourself in this, even here where we are right now, we are saying, no, we need to be, educating our friends and our families. But personally, from yourself, you can find that you are the victim. And then here right now, you're just saying it for the sake of other people getting it. But it has to start with you. So your question, you said, what can we do? I feel like personally, it needs to start with you. Do you truly have the 100% knowledge that you need to have? And then when you have that knowledge, how are you using it? Are you working towards what you know, or you're just keeping that mindset to yourself and then you're doing other different activities? So it has to start with you. You need to know what you need to do. And then from there, you need to also teach others, because you cannot teach something that you do not do. Others will be looking at what your actions are.
You give me wrong data.
Yes.
Give me wrong
So
data.
you find that action speaks louder than words.
Yeah.
So if you tell your friend to say, bro, I would love you not to be doing this, he's going to be looking at your actions. You are the first person who is having about 5 girlfriends, and then this one has only 2. And you're telling him to say, no, you should stop, just remain with one. He's going to look at these other girls that you have. So it has to start with you personally, and then you get to, I feel like, let's be too involved in these things, because a lot of people are really affected outside there. A lot of people are affected. From us, we can help our families, we can help our community, and we can help this world. So it has to start with us, and personalize it. Have some personal targets. Okay, I'm going to teach my family, and then if you've got some young siblings that are coming after you, you teach them these things. Because our parents, sometimes you find that some daddies out there, they don't even have times to sit down with their families and tell them these things. So as we are being educated, let's take this opportunity and help ourselves together with our family. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, we can go around, then we close.
I think even engaging in extracurricular activities, like when we're having a dormant mindset, we get to think about a lot of things, some sexual desires, something. So at least if we start engaging in things like entertainment, sports, keeping our minds active, it would really help with us not engaging in some sexual activities.
Okay, nice.
Another thing I wanted to say is we should avoid both substance and drug abuse. I feel like as youth, we usually engage ourselves in things that we know our body won't handle adequately. Like, for an example, people who don't drink alcohol might want to drink alcohol because they've seen something that they've never seen before. So they want to try something new.
Yeah.
By the end of the day, they end up sleeping with someone they didn't know and getting sick. Even the same pills that you just take randomly, you don't even know what they'll do to you. No, because I want to last long. You won't last long, you would die.
Okay, quick one.
Okay, this will be the last time I'm talking, guys. I promise. I promise. Firstly, before I ask my question, I have a question to the doctors before I finish. But before I ask the question...
Oh, there are a lot of doctors. but
whichever way to
Yes.
come from, I just need to understand this so that even as we're going out, people are not misinformed. What we can do about it, a positive environment yields positive thoughts.
Results. Yeah.
So when it comes to what we can do, basically, like he said and many of us have mentioned, is we should build a culture of finding ourselves in places that build us if we are to see a change. Now remember, change will not come from somebody who's outside, but it will come from a person who's here today.
Within your circle. Yeah.
So what places are we engaging ourselves in? For example, he did mention TYP. And trust me, this is a youth movement platform that addresses a lot of adolescent issues. And one of them is one which we are doing here. Find yourselves in places that are going to educate you so that at the end of the day will be a channel of educating the people around us. Because if you know what you are doing, you are even in a best place to correct your partner, if at all you are in a perfect relationship. There is no perfect relationship. But if you are in a place where you have a partner who understands you, when you say, babe, let's go live, I want to feel the sweetness, you are able to say, guy, let's protect. Okay, I want 10 rounds. I have a box.
One condom,
one round. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Babe, I'm not happy in this relationship. Tell him, if you want to cheat, go find another. I'm okay by myself. Because if at all you can't abstain, stick to one partner, then you are not in a good place. And then this whole spread of whatever we are talking about will never end.
Yeah.
Because the practice of what we're talking about begins with us. So if you can be a channel of change, let's keep ourselves positive. Engage ourselves in youthful movements that are educative, and so we can draw a line of being the perfect generation that we want to be. Remember, a person who's in grade 11, they're probably looking at you as their boyfriend or their husband. And so if you're not faithful and you've played around, meaning the little child you're going to propose to is going to be a victim of your sins that you committed even before them.
Yeah.
You understand that cycle? So positive environment yields positive thoughts. The environment could be one of them. TYP, let's get ourselves involved and learn and be able to educate each other. My last question. I'm not a medical student, and then I've been trying to research when I was a person as in which to understand. What is the difference that we can go with today to differentiate, in order not to get the wrong treatment that she talked about, between a UTI and an STI? How do you differentiate these two? Because she said you'll be treating STI when it's actually UTI, urinary transmitted infection, when it's actually sexually transmitted infection. So what is the difference, guys? So that at least that if I haven't heard anything, at least niende kuchena kama.
Okay. So let me just give one answer on that question that you asked as a preventive doctor. Yeah. So for UTI and STIs, they have some, depending on what UTI and what STI it is, they have certain similarities. Yeah. So that's why even in our talks, the best thing that we are telling are people to go and seek medical help, because you need to confirm. When you have certain symptoms, I might have a weird discharge from my vagina, and that weird discharge can be found in syphilis. That weird discharge can also be found in a UTI. But if I go to the hospital, there are certain tests that they use, and they'll be sure that this is a UTI and this is an STI.
So you can't tell by looking?
No. And you should never have that narrative of, I will tell by looking, because you'll kill yourself. So best you go to the hospital, get the medical help, you are tested, and you know which one is which. So we can get one last contribution, so that we can be eager to have this conversation again when we come back as TYP in that auditorium. So you give us the last contribution.
Thank you very much. I think one of the things that we need to do, I'll talk about, to be short, but at least we need to go back to the Bible. It's one of the most important
I like you. I really like you.
Ever since it's only the commandment, one of the commandments that the Bible talks about, for our days to be long on earth, we need to do what? To obey our parents.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to ask me a question, will our parents be happy with what is happening around? If they find you having so many partners, are they going to be happy?
No.
You understand, right?
Yeah.
So it's to stick to the principles that which the parents taught us. The difference between someone who is principled and someone who is not principled is just allowing them to be in their free environment.
Yeah.
If someone is able to obey you because you are there and you are monitoring them, don't think because they are principled. It's because you are restricting them. Yeah. But the moment they are principled, wherever they will go, they will still go with the principles. Remember Daniel?
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I want to also say, it's because of us not valuing ourselves and not wanting to be happy, let alone in the future, that we just do anything anyhow. Look, none of us will be content in marriage if we have so many sexual partners. Trust me, the reason why we have a high rise in the divorce rate in our country is because a lot of people have got so many sexual partners even before they get married. Imagine me, I have about 5 sexual partners, or maybe, I'm saying imagine, try to imagine, right? I have about 5 sexual partners. You understand, right?
Yeah.
I have 5 sexual partners. And all these sexual partners that I have appease me differently.
Yeah.
How will it be when I'm in marriage with the last one?
Yeah.
And then I get to marry. And there's this stupid mind that we have as guys, whereby we want to actually get married to a virgin. Meanwhile, you've been sleeping around with a lot. You have broken a lot of virginity around out there. But when it's time for marriage, you want to actually get married to a virgin. Now, when you want to get married to a virgin, someone who is beginning, and then you around there, you have been you are a pro. You have been around with so many people.
And you have been around with pros.
Yes,
so
you have been around with pros
comparisons.
who actually have so many different styles. And what will happen is that the moment you are in marriage with that kind of a person, you have challenges. One, you won't be satisfied, because not everyone can be satisfied. You won't be satisfied with that partner, because they don't know those things. As a result, that will bring in issues to do with cheating. You will start going out and having. Have you heard that it's not just money that will keep your marriage, but the way there are a lot of issues in marriage.
Yeah.
It's the way you also satisfy yourself in the bedroom. Haven't you heard that a minister or a big person with so much money, his wife goes out with a guard, sleeps with a guard?
True.
Why? Because the guard is able to reach that extent. The husband is not reaching there. So if you go in marriage with having so many different sexual partners, it will definitely affect your marriage.
Yeah.
So see your future now. And if you see your future now, you actually know what you need to do and what you need to avoid.
Yeah, and
And you really need to think. Yes. So in summary, the other thing that is affecting us as youths is social media.
Yeah.
There are a lot of useless things that we don't need to see on social media. Our doctors will agree with me. There's a way the brain operates. There's the subconscious and the subconscious and what? Mm-hmm. So you will find that the brain records the information, and as it is interpreting it, the information is coming out as you doing it. Yeah. So the moment you watch something on social media, you watch something on social media, the brain will interpret that you are the one doing it. Oh. So you watch porn on social media, the brain will interpret that you are the one doing it. As a result, you find yourself doing certain things that you are not supposed to do. Yeah. So let us minimize on social media and also channels where we go to, in order for us to draw back our morals. Because we have lost our moral, we have lost our African culture.
Exactly. Okay, so bringing that back, let us use social media for important things. Let us use social media for the real talk show. Let us use social media for the youth platform. I'm just joking, but let's use social media for the most important thing. Thank you so much, guys. That's what we had for you today on the Real Talk Show, and this was our first ever edition of the University Edition. We were here at Levy Mwanawasa, and we got very important insights from our students and what they think is actually affecting them in their school and in other universities to do with STIs. See you next time again right here on the youth platform. Thank you so much.